You know what's fascinating? We've built an entire industry around telling people to think positive. Billions of dollars, millions of books, countless seminars. And yet, here we are, more anxious, more depressed, more medicated than ever before. Something's not adding up, is it? I'm not here to tell you positive thinking is bad. I'm here to show you why it doesn't work the way you've been told. And more importantly, what actually does work. Let me ask you something. Have you ever tried really hard to think positive about a situation that was clearly falling apart? Maybe a relationship that was dying, a job that was crushing your soul, a dream that wasn't happening, and someone told you, just stay positive, just visualize it working out, just affirm it into existence. How did that feel? If you're honest, it probably felt like you were lying to yourself. Because you were. Here's what nobody tells you about positive thinking. It's not designed to change your reality. It's designed to make you feel better about not changing your reality. It's a painkiller, not a cure. Think about it. When you're in pain, real pain, emotional or physical, and someone tells you to just think positive thoughts, what are they really saying? They're saying, don't look at what's actually happening. Don't feel what you're actually feeling. Put on a happy mask and pretend everything's fine. That's not transformation. That's avoidance dressed up in inspirational quotes. The uncomfortable truth is this: positive thinking has become a way to bypass the actual work of understanding yourself. It's easier to repeat affirmations than to ask why you need them in the first place. It's easier to visualize success than to examine why you're afraid of failure. It's easier to say everything happens for a reason, dealing with the situation, but into maintaining the performance of positivity. You end up exhausted, not from the challenge itself, but from pretending it's not a challenge. The people who sold you positive thinking knew something. They knew that facing reality is hard. They knew that sitting with discomfort is painful. They knew that real change requires you to look at parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. So they offered you a shortcut, a way to feel spiritual and evolved without doing the actual work. And we bought it. Of course we did. Who wouldn't want to believe that changing your thoughts is all it takes? That you can manifest anything just by thinking the right way? That your external circumstances are just a reflection of your internal state? It's seductive. It's empowering. It puts you in control. Except it doesn't. Because when positive thinking doesn't work, and it often doesn't, you're left with a new problem. Now it's your fault. You weren't positive enough. You didn't believe hard enough. You had limiting beliefs you didn't clear. The failure isn't in the method, it's in you. See how that works? The system is designed so it can never be wrong. Only you can be wrong. By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. So what's really happening when you try to force positive thinking? You're creating what I call a split reality. One part of you knows the truth, sees the situation clearly, feels the actual emotions, and another part is performing positivity, trying to override that knowing with willpower and affirmations. This split takes enormous energy to maintain. It's like holding a beach ball underwater. The more you push this, one day she stopped. She stopped the affirmations, stopped the visualizations, stopped trying to think positive, and she asked herself a simple question. What am I actually feeling? Turns out, she was terrified of intimacy. Underneath all that positive thinking was a deep fear of being truly seen, truly known, truly vulnerable. The positive thinking wasn't helping her overcome that fear. It was helping her avoid acknowledging it existed. Once she saw that, really saw it, everything changed. Not because she thought more positively about her fear, but because she stopped pretending it wasn't there. That's the thing about consciousness. It wants to be whole. It wants all parts of you to be included, acknowledged, integrated. When you use positive thinking to exile parts of yourself, you're not evolving, you're fracturing. And fragmented consciousness creates fragmented reality. You get what you're trying to avoid because part of you is still operating from that place, just hidden from your awareness. Now, I'm not saying you should wallow in negativity. I'm not saying become cynical or pessimistic. I'm saying something completely different. What if you didn't need to label experiences as positive or negative at all? What if you could just see what's happening without immediately trying to change how you feel about it? This is where it gets interesting. When you stop fighting reality, when you stop trying to force yourself to feel differently than you do, something unexpected happens. You find that you have access to a completely different kind of power. Not the power to deny what's happening, the power to work with what's happening. See, positive thinking is based on the idea that your thoughts create your reality. And there's truth in that. In that stopping, in that surrender to what is, they found something that positive thinking never gave them. They found reality. And reality, it turns out, is workable. It has structure, patterns, laws that you can understand and navigate. But you can't navigate what you won't acknowledge. Positive thinking keeps you in denial. Honest awareness puts you in relationship with what's actually happening. And relationship is where transformation happens. Think about it. You can't change something you're pretending doesn't exist. You can't heal a wound you won't look at. You can't grow beyond a pattern you won't admit you're in. All that positive thinking energy, all that visualization and affirmation, it's going into maintaining an illusion. What if you redirected that energy into seeing clearly, into understanding what's really driving your choices, your reactions, your life? The shift from positive thinking to honest awareness, it feels like a death at first, because it is. It's the death of the story you've been telling yourself. The story that you're fine, everything's fine, it's all working out, you just need to stay positive. But what comes after that death? Something real, something solid, something you can actually build on. Not fantasy, not wishful thinking, not spiritual bypass. Reality. And reality, when you stop fighting it, when you stop trying to paint it in colors it's not, reality becomes your ally. It shows you what's actually possible, not what you wish was possible. It shows you where you actually are, not where you think you should be. It shows you what you actually need to do, not what would be nice to do if everything were different. This is the uncomfortable truth. Positive thinking is comfortable, actually there. Feel what you're actually feeling. See what you're actually seeing. Know what you actually know. That's not negative. That's not pessimistic. That's not giving up. That's waking up. And when you wake up, when you see clearly, you gain access to something far more powerful than positive thinking ever promised you. You gain access to reality itself, to the actual mechanisms of how things work, to the real levers of change, to the truth that sets you free, not the lies that keep you comfortable. This is what nobody told you. The path isn't through positive thinking. It's through honest seeing, through complete acceptance of what is right now, exactly as it is. Not because you're giving up on change, but because you can't change what you won't acknowledge. Positive thinking is a drug. It makes you feel better temporarily, but it doesn't address the underlying condition. Honest awareness is medicine. It might taste bitter, but it actually heals. The question is, what do you really want? To feel better about your life? Or to actually change it? To perform spirituality? Or to live it? To think positively while nothing shifts? Or to see clearly so everything can? The choice has always been yours. Positive thinking just made you forget you had one. If this video shifted something in you, write in the comments, "I choose to see clearly." Write it as your promise. Nobody